We are recording, so if by chance you have to bow out of this meeting, it will be recorded and set on our Purdue Extension YouTube channel, which we'll be talking about here in a moment. First off, I'd like to welcome everybody. This meeting is intended to help you get started with your 4-H year. The last meeting we had was talking about virtual resources. And I'll show you where you can find those along with some other items. We've been working diligently to make sure that the website has all of the forms that you need, the resources. However, if you find that there's something missing, please let us know and we will get it on the website for you. MJ, would you mind sharing?
Yeah.
Screen back.
There you go.
Okay. Unfortunately, if you're on the phone, you may not be able to see this. Where I've got everybody looking, if you can see this virtually, is at our Purdue Extension, LaPorte County webpage. And to get to where I'm at, just go to Youth, the Youth tab, and down to County Club. It's the first option. And scroll down, and you will see all the wonderful resources we've gathered for you. I would like to go into the 4-H Club resources section, which is the second item. And here we go. This page is chock full of information. Just in review, when looking at your 4-H club, if you are finding that you have less than 5 members or 5 members, but not from 3 families, which is the minimum, please get a hold of us so we can work with you to build the membership in your club. We've got a lot of things on our plate right now, growing the communication and awareness of our program. One of them coming in the very near future is a mobile app for our county where you'll be able to access, oh gosh, dates, information, everything will be at your fingertips, just like a typical mobile app. So anyway, getting back to the structure of the club, if you find that you're below the minimum, please reach out to us. We can't help you if we don't know that you're having difficulties. We have outreach efforts we can make supporting you. Last year, we had a few enrollment nights where we brought out some technology. Now, granted, this year's a little bit different because of COVID, but we can still be very creative. So please communicate with us so we can help you. As we scroll down through this section of our website, it then goes into 4-H club officer resources. So if you're president or vice president, there's a guide along with suggestions. The secretary and treasurer role. There's great, in fact, I'll just pop into the president's guide here. Here's the president's guide that is a free download off of our Ed Store. So many resources you can get right at your fingertips. If you do not have a printer and need help printing these items, please contact us, contact the office. We'll print them off for you and you can pick them up from the office then. But these are great tools to give to the youth who are accepting or voted into those roles. Next is health and safety. In this time of COVID, especially with now backsliding a bit to stage 4.5 instead of no longer 5, we have to be careful and aware of how we are setting up our events to make sure that they are safe and keeps everybody healthy. So there is a safety plan. The template is right here on the site. We're looking at you needing to fill out the templates for any meetings you're holding, any events you're holding, and then sending those into the office. If you send those to Molly, she'll make sure they go on to West Lafayette to be approved. If it involves a reservation at the fairgrounds, it will then go on to Kathy, who's involved with working with the business manager out at the fairgrounds to set up a reservation for your event. But she cannot reserve a spot at the fairgrounds until your safety plan has been approved. So you do not want to wait to the last minute to fill out the safety plan. We'll talk further about a program plan or a 4-H club program year, where take a look at planning your year out. When will you need a template? Can you get that template into us at least 3 weeks in advance? The reason why we need that 3-week period is because everybody in the state of Indiana within 4-H is sending in safety plans as well. So they need to approve all safety plans. So please don't wait till the last minute to get those in. Do you have anything to add to that, MJ?
Yeah, I'll just add that for the groups that have some of those extracurriculars like horse and pony, maybe dog, shooting sports, that type of thing, each of those extracurriculars will need a safety plan, and working in conjunction with that overarching committee. So like shooting sports, their pistol and archery people need to be working with our shooting sports program coordinator, Jeremy, to develop a safety plan for those programs.
And
So, yeah.
and when you're having a repetitive activity or meeting in the same location, you'll only need one plan with the multiple dates. So if you find that you're meeting at the fairgrounds for a meeting the first Monday of every month, it looks the same each month. You know how you'll clean the facility after you're done. You know how you'll set up and arrange chairs so there's distance between everybody. That only takes one safety plan. You don't have to write one up for each meeting. However, if from there you decide to do something in the show arena, then you would need a safety plan for the show arena. So I suppose if you look at any time you change venue or purpose, then you would need a different safety plan. But again, contact the office if you have any questions, and we can help you out. After health and safety, which can also be a youth role within a club, there are some other examples of roles that youth can serve in a club, from news reporter, recreation leader, song leader. As we've expressed in the past, really evaluate your group and look at what their interests are. If you have a group that is really interested in models, and all of them have that common interest, it's okay to have a leader that maybe talks about models each meeting, STEM activity, writing, anything where you see there's a common interest. Really work on fostering that within your group, and have a leader take control of that and grow it within your club. So these are just some examples that the youth can hold a role in within your club, but the options are limitless, really, when you look at what kids are interested in. Fundraising, there still can't be fundraising in this time of COVID. We do have some groups that are involved with Culver Days. Those are pretty popular. But if you would like to look at some more fundraising, there's a link here for that. Financial reporting, very important, and something that I would say is probably not the most favored activity of leaders, is to have to report the finances every year. It's just that task that's easy to pass by, but it's a super easy form and super easy report that we require every year. Every so often, then your records may be audited, and you're notified of that if they are audited. But under the financial information tab here, there is a really nice checklist along with the actual financial report. So if we send out an email to everybody asking for your annual financial report, and you by chance lose that email, you can find the link right here on the website, or again, contact us and we can send it to you. Risk management, field trip permission forms. In a healthy, no risk year, this is something a lot of kids fill out right away, including their health form. As it stands right now, field trips, day-long trips, and overnight trips are on hold due to COVID. So we'll watch and see what Indiana 4-H determines is best for everybody, and we will keep you all in the loop. But all of those forms, from camp on through to accident reports, if we have a minor accident out at the fairgrounds, which is easy to take place, this is the form that we use to note that. Use of the 4-H name and emblem, along with a handbook explaining the proper use for both. That emblem is a national logo, so we have certain guidelines we have to follow when utilizing that emblem, and the handbook will also outline that further for you. We have some guides for parents, family members, aunts, uncles, anybody that has involvement within 4-H and would like to see some of the basics, you know, the first time family coming in. If you're a club leader and you have somebody that's never experienced 4-H, the family guide is a terrific resource for that family. We also have a 4-H online youth enrollment instructions and fair entry instructions. The first time somebody comes into 4-H, they hear a lot of acronyms. That family guide will list all the acronyms, give a basic explanation, and 4-H online, they think, okay, everything goes in 4-H online. That's where we capture the interests of youth. That's where we capture contact information for youth, so we can get word out about opportunities that pertain to their interests. Fair entry takes it a step further, and that, of course, is where we enter all of the exhibits that will be enrolled in the fair. This past year, we still use fair entry for the virtual exhibition. So it's nice to have those instructions right there, especially for the new family. And then down at the bottom of the page, some commonly used forms. Oh goodness, we have everything from the club planning guide, which is a really great document, along with the planning worksheet. This sheet, it just helps you jot down, how do I want to see my 4-H club year going? What kind of activities do I want in it? What is the focus of it? Again, if you're having difficulty maybe keeping the attention of youth, of engaging youth, please contact MJ or I. We've sat down with a couple of leaders last year and helped them get back on track. sometimes we stay so focused in what we're doing, it's difficult to look at maybe what some other options may be to engage kids within clubs or within projects. So if you just find that you're having a difficult time with any component of your meeting, if the kids are not involved, wanting to be involved as officers, that's something that can easily happen. We can work with you to help you engage those kids again. So I don't think there's also the manuals or record sheets, price sheet. It's pretty much all on this page. Is there anything else you'd like to add to this, MJ?
No, we will get the 4-H Online 2.0 instructions for families on there as well. And I can talk about that in just a second. But other than that, no, I don't really have anything else to add to that.
Okay. Again, it's worthwhile taking a look at this page. Lots of information, even this website, looking at, if you went down to county forms, you'll see scholarships, trips and resources, volunteer resources, a whole bunch of information. It's really worth going through and seeing what we've got posted on here. Okay. You're next, MJ. Do you have the screen? Oh, you're on mute.
You got to stop sharing your screen.
Oh. But I hit it. There we go.
Okay. Let me back over here. Okay. Let's see. I want this screen. Okay. Can you all see the volunteer resources page?
Mm-mm.
Oh, did I share it on the screen?
We see the mountains.
Oh, okay. I did have it on the right one. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So like the club resources page, we also have, like Gail just showed you, we also have a volunteer resources page. Back. I actually go a different way. It should be right at the top. And the volunteer resources page is very similar to the club resources page. It just gives you an idea of thinking about what youth development is, positive youth development, and what it all entails. We have resources regarding hands-on learning process, ages and stages of youth development. So if you're struggling with member engagement, and maybe you have a lot of older club members in your club and you're trying to figure out why they're not engaged, you can refer to this ages and stages document, and it gives you some tips and tricks. Oh, we got to fix that. It gives you some tips and tricks on where those youth are in their different stages of growth, physically, emotionally, mentally, those types of things, and some teaching tricks for them. Also, the stages of experiential learning or the hands-on learning process. We also have the Targeting Youth Life Skills model. I hope all these links work. Nope. Okay, we gotta fix these links. But the Targeting Youth Life Skills model, which I think might be down here. No, it is not. We'll make sure all these links are working. But this is just a good resource to find out maybe some information about leadership and teaching techniques if you're needing to spark new ideas for this upcoming year. We also, on the club resources page, or no, actually it's here, down at the bottom, we have different ideas on virtual meeting spaces, which we covered in our last call that we had. And that link has been posted on our Facebook page and I believe in the bulletin. We also have some virtual icebreakers that you can use in your clubs this year, as well as some things to think about, again, how to keep kids engaged on Zoom. I know they're all Zooming out on school, so it's an added challenge. But other 4-H projects have used Google Classroom as a nice resource and a way to supplement education. A couple groups like Dog, they've asked kids to create demonstration videos and submit those and post them on their Facebook page so that other kids can still learn. It's a great way for the kids to not only showcase their knowledge, but share their knowledge with their peers as well, and learn at the same time. And hopefully they can use what they're learning in their project. Let me show you 4-H 2.0. So the website for 4-H Online 2.0, which we're encouraging everyone to go to on October 15th. It'll be officially open and hopefully running and everything. But it's v2.4honline.com. It's a new address. I can put this in the chat box. If I can find the chat box. This is obviously going to look different. This is the administrative side, but you'll log in using your same login information, and you'll be able to, I wish I could show you what it really looks like on your end, but I don't have a training account for that right now. But it's pretty straightforward. I can show you the instructions that we have. If you're a returning volunteer, you obviously use this one. If you're a new volunteer, you would use this link. Well, that is not working. So, one second while I pull it up. Hold on. Okay. Can everyone see these instructions? Enrolling in 4-H Online is returning. Okay. So you will pull up v2.4honline.com, and this is what your screen will look like. You'll sign in using the same login that you use for 4-H Online 1.0, a regular 4-H Online. If you have to reset your password, again, you can click reset your password. We're still learning this system, so I'm not sure if resetting your password works the same, like you have to wait for us to then give you a new password or not. So if anyone has hit that button so far, let us know what it happens on your end. So yeah, so you'll go down and you'll kind of just walk through the different steps. You'll click your volunteer type. In this little drop down where it says type, you'll select your volunteer type. It'll give you a list. These are generic titles that these aren't quite what our state has, but the volunteer type is going to be a little bit different than what we're used to. And we'll kind of go over that in a minute. And then it'll also ask you like your volunteer role, which I believe will be a little bit different as well. And then it, same as the previous version, it walks you through like your personal information, medical history, if you want to add additional contacts, what club you're associated with or group. You add your club the same as you would in the last version, which project you're involved in. The question, we don't have any questions at this moment. I don't believe, but we're going to be learning more about scheduling events and things like that. And I do know that we can ask youth for their t-shirt sizes as well. So we could potentially give clubs a report if you're planning to order t-shirts or something and you don't want to have to ask members their t-shirt sizes. As long as they've put that in their profile, that would show up in the report and we could give that to you as a club. Let's see. Again, it asks you like your health form, medical information. You'll also see the consent forms too, and the adult behavioral expectations will be here. There should be no payment, so you just keep clicking the blue button and make sure you hit submit. Volunteer trainings, they are still working on getting those working. The trainings will be back into 4-H Online. Versus last year where we all had to do the Qualtrics because Flash wasn't working and this and that. And with Flash being discontinued at the end of this year, they're well aware that that volunteer training is not working yet. It should be noted that with the volunteer training, until that's up and running, which we will send out an email once we get the okay that it's all good to go. So if you've already enrolled, just know that you may have to do that again if you've already done it, because it's not showing up like it should be, that you've completed it. So there is that. And again, with volunteer trainings this year, with the new system and rolling it over to 2.0, the youth are reporting preventing child abuse and youth safety training module. Normally that is every 2 years a completion. This year, now it is every year that is required of volunteers in order to be a certified volunteer with us. So in order to get approval, you will need to do that every year. Along with that, we also have some more training opportunities for you that we are asking of volunteers. So with that being said, all volunteers will need to complete one additional continuing education hour, whether it's an in-person volunteer training, online, or maybe it's attending YQCA if you're a part of a livestock committee and you want to know what the kids are learning. This is to better understand your motivation to be a volunteer with LaPorte County 4-H. We have this is a volunteer training opportunity. We have many other volunteer training opportunities that we will be planning this year as well, that hopefully by the spring could be in person. If not, they will be virtually. But again, there's some other opportunities that if you're involved in, say, the equine industry and you attend, I don't know, a seminar on some sort of riding discipline and you're a clinician and you've attended that seminar, you can go to this survey. And fill out the survey. Tell us what the name of the training or the video or what it was that you did, the length of the training, rate the training, and then just tell us, something, 2 or 3 examples of how you apply what you learn to your experience as a 4-H leader this year. This will be an expectation every year moving forward. And we want you guys to learn something while you're a volunteer. and grow personally in your volunteer development as well, and gain some tools to better serve our youth. Once you complete this and you hit submit, it will send you a certificate of completion that is also copied to our office. But it should be noted, we all know technology has flaws. So once you get that email that you've completed and a copy of your responses, either save that or print it for your records in case there is a glitch and we don't get that copy of that certificate. But if I go back to this continuing education list, there are 30 different opportunities that we found in these videos. Some of them range from 30 minutes to 45 to 60 minutes. We tried finding a variety of different things that might interest you. Again, everyone has different interest areas, and it's really just learning something new. So from learning about youth and farm stress to biosecurity to this boredom buster challenge exploring entrepreneurship. There's plenty of different opportunities out there for you to learn something. Yeah. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Gail?
I think that we'll find many of you are already doing some type of volunteer development through the passion area that you're involved in 4-H. So again, it's as simple as a YQCA, attending that. I don't know how many of the volunteers sat in on YQCA sessions that I taught. So that right there is a training. But what was helpful with that was you as a volunteer can continue to carry that education when you see the kids you work with around you. So one thing I wanted to point out before this was when you are going through and enrolling as a volunteer and you're selecting the areas you are volunteering in, I didn't mean to have you go back, MJ, but we grab all of our distribution lists off of 4-H Online. So if we're trying to get a letter out to youth who are in sewing, we want to make sure that the volunteers that are involved with that are also notified. So if no matter what project you're involved in, if it's several of them, please note all of those when you're enrolling, so that we know you do get all the communication. We're trying to create easy reading, which is one reason why we went with the bulletin that went out a couple of weeks ago. We just don't want you to waste time trying to hunt for everything. We're trying to lay it right at your feet. So that will help us by you selecting every interest area or committee that you are involved in, so we know you get all the communication.
With that too, I mentioned that the volunteer roles will look a little bit different as well in the new 4-H Online 2.0. And this is a good segue to our next piece and talking about aligning better with the volunteer roles that the state offers. In that happening, it was a chance for us to look at our volunteer roles and how do they best match what we're actually doing. So we created this hierarchy chart just to help you understand like the flow of information. Hopefully everyone knows that Purdue University is our land-grant university. That's what 4-H youth development across the country is always attached to a land-grant university. That's part of an agreement with the USDA and NIFA. In order for 4-H to function, they must have a home base of a land-grant university. The College of Agriculture, Dean Dr. Plott, she is in charge of the College of Agriculture, which extension falls under, which is then chaired or charged by the Director of Extension, Dr. Henderson. And then we have the County Extension Program, which also makes up all of these different program areas besides 4-H. And there are educators and program coordinators attached to these different areas as well. And then within that, we have our volunteer club structure. So some of the new titles that you will see on there, I think it's volunteer type. The type would be 4-H Advisory Council. And then within that, you have the different groups, your voting members, a chair, a treasurer. Then you have your 4-H clubs. Within those clubs, we are asking clubs to look at the number of leaders that they have with the amount of kids that they have. So for example, what if a club has 30 members and 3 volunteers? That's a pretty good ratio because it's 1 for every 10 children. And that's kind of the ratio we hope to strive for. As FMEC, moves forward with the fairgrounds and things change with the Ag Association and all of that, this is a chance for us to also look at how many volunteers we actually have that are serving in their roles within the clubs, within committees, those different things, because typically we've all experienced that we have a lot of people that have signed up just to receive passes at fair time. And we don't see them anytime throughout the year. So we're trying to get clubs to kind of look at where is their help needed within their club, who is helping them, and how can we align them to these different roles. So the organizational leader is the main club leaders. You can have, 2 club leaders, or, they're the ones that are working with the officers. They're helping the officers plan the meetings. They're working with the actual details of those monthly club meetings. Within that, we have a new role, an enrollment liaison. They would be in charge of working with these organizational club leaders to make sure that kids are paying their state program fee, they're going over the reports. We can assign them as 4-H club managers and 4-H online so they can see how many kids have enrolled in with their club, who's all still pending, and who still needs to pay. They can reach out to new club members and see if they have everything that they need to be successful in the club, and those different types of things. We also have a mini 4-H liaison who ideally will be working with the mini 4-Hers in that club and designing, programs or activities within those club meetings. And Gail, I don't know if you want to add more to that piece.
Yes, we are seeing that many 4-Hers are wanting to attend meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Their siblings are attending and they want to be there with their siblings. However, not all activities are engaging to minis when you're looking at older youth that are in a group. This is an opportunity for an adult lead or liaison to have minis and talk to them about the projects available. We've developed many resources over the past year, from a mini 4-H family guide to some updated manuals. The mini 4-H program will grow from here, and how it will grow is, in fact, working with the mini 4-H liaisons. We can hear what these kids are interested in. So this is a nice layer of communication for the office to be able to hear what's needed, what kind of programming do we need to create live, and go from there.
Similar to the mini 4-H liaison, we have a junior leader liaison within a club. This is different than a junior leader advisor. I just want to note the junior leader advisor oversees the county junior leader program. The liaisons work within the clubs sort of as a coach and linking those junior leaders and empowering them within their club to step up and take a lead, maybe plan some activities, have more of a voice in their club. Because at the county level, we're teaching them to develop their leadership skills and go back to their clubs to help their club leaders. And we're finding that's not really happening a lot of times. So it's one way to engage those older members in your club, to encourage them to participate not only within their club, but also other state opportunities that may be available, like junior leaders, teens as teachers, 4-H Roundup, 4-H Academy, all those different activities that they can help and be a part of and learn skills to bring back to their clubs and help you. With that too, we also have Spark Club volunteers. Again, similar to club leaders, we would have an overall organizational leader for that Spark Club, and then perhaps someone helping them with enrolling those Spark Club members, either after school, or it doesn't even have to be after school. If anyone wants to start a Spark Club of any project interest, like skateboarding, and you want to teach 6 hours of instruction on skateboarding, we can make you a Spark Club volunteer.
Just as far as Spark Clubs, remember, this is a way to draw new audiences in. That's why Spark Clubs were created. Spark an interest. What can connect us to those who have an interest that are not involved with 4-H at the moment? So currently, a lot of our Spark Clubs run out of schools. We have schools contact us and want some type of 4-H experience. And once they're involved with 4-H, the school, we've had schools pay program fees for the kids because they appreciate what 4-H is doing. So if you are interested in a different experience as a club leader, Spark Clubs are the way to go.
Yeah. And then livestock committees, I believe that's an option in there. And then within that, we have chairs and voting members. So that's pretty similar. I mean, that's not really changing much. Then we have project coordinators, which are overseeing the larger project areas. So instead of project superintendents, they're project coordinators, and they are developing at least 6 hours of instruction and workshops throughout the year, and educational opportunities for youth to learn those different project areas. Within that, we need to add 2 clinicians as well. But we do have project division leaders. So project division leaders are those people within the overarching project. So the biggest example would be outdoor sports. We have an outdoor sports project coordinator. But under outdoor sports, we have archery, we have pistol, we have outdoor skills, there's sport fishing. So they have multiple different leaders that are under outdoor sports. For arts and crafts, you'll also find when you're enrolling your youth in 4-H Online 2.0 that some of our project titles have changed to better align with state project titles. So say there's a project coordinator for arts and crafts. That entails like they're overseeing the arts and crafts, different projects. And maybe there's a needlecraft division leader under that, or a sewing division leader that is running those sewing projects, and they're running workshops throughout the year. So it's just kind of a way to have a go-to person, as well as making sure that educational opportunities are happening for our youth. And then the next piece is just resource volunteers. A lot of times we have people that join committees that either don't attend meetings, or they just want to help during fair, but they're not sure what they should be, so they sign up as a committee member. They'll now have the option to sign up as just a fair resource volunteer. And what that means is that, if you want to help set up during fair, if you want to be a part of fair, you would get a fair pass, but you would be helping during that week of fair with setup, tear down, project check-in, project checkout, helping those different committees set up their barns, whatever aspect that they might need, say at their shows, you would be able to help with, or that volunteer would be able to help with. We also have a chaperone opportunity as well. A lot of times we have different state events like, 4-H Roundup or Teens as Teachers that we're looking for people to serve as chaperones. And maybe that person doesn't have time to commit to anything else throughout the year, but they want to help and they want to learn. They can sign up to be a 4-H chaperone. So that way, if something were to happen and we would need someone to go in our place or get additional chaperones, we would have a list of people that we could call upon. And same with state fair. If you want to sign up to help with taking state fair projects down and those types of things, then you would sign up to be a state fair resource volunteer. Did I forget anything? Oh, I should add too, I did mention we will have a role description for clinician/workshop people. The biggest example I can give of this is with Horse and Pony. They have a lot of people that volunteer to give clinics or workshops, and that's their role throughout the year. Same with dog. We have a lot of different dog trainers that aren't necessarily on dog committee, but they're helping with that project. And it's just more outlining what everyone's role is and what they're already doing. Instead of just signing up as a general volunteer, you have a clear purpose, you have clear expectations of what is expected of you and what we can provide to you as well for training and resources and those types of things. I don't know if I lost anything. I did see the question of, if one person has more than one role, can you select multiple choices? You should be able to, because some of these roles we have to set up as groups. And previously in 1.0, you could sign up for multiple groups. So yes, tentatively, I'm saying yes, but as we dive into 2.0, we'll know more information. I think that's all I have. There was a question about the different virtual, it might be duplicate thing. Why are there 2 tabs for types of virtual? Hold on. So here's one chart telling you the differences in different virtual formats. What the other one? I don't remember which one I just clicked on. Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. Just a duplicate one, Lori. But it looks like this. It just tells you the pros and cons of the different virtual formats. And I know we've mentioned it a few times, but we do have capabilities to set up a Zoom classroom for you guys. So don't get hung up on the 100 participants thing. That's if you personally have your own Zoom account, but you can call us and we can set up a Zoom account or Zoom meeting room for you. And you would have access to using the breakout rooms. You would be able to use polls, I believe, as well, and up to 300 participants. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
And if that's the direction you want to go, please contact us.
Yeah.
We're the ones setting the meetings up. I've set up polls. I have not set up rooms, but from what I've read, it's fairly easy. I have participated in being in a Zoom room. It's painless being a part of a Zoom room. It's a really neat way, though, to have discussions. If you're looking at, let's break out into groups, and then you can bring the groups back together for one whole discussion. So many options that Zoom provides. So if you need help with that, contact MJ or I. We'll help you. Between either one of us, we've got a host of skills here. one is, I would say MJ's bigger on the high-tech end of things. I haven't kept up with all of the Jamboards and everything else that are out there, but I've used Zoom to its full extent. So between the two of us, we can help you with new ideas. If you want to brainstorm and figure out, you know, this is an idea I have for my club and I'm not sure what to do, we can talk it through with you. What is really neat about 2.0 4-H Online, first off, it's very clean, so much cleaner than version 1.0, easier to read. It offers the option of 2 families receiving contact information on a youth. So if you have a youth that has 2 households, in the past it was difficult because mom or dad couldn't get it, or if they were with grandma on the weekend and were wanting to know about information, they weren't able to learn about it. So that's a really nice plus with the new 2.0. And it's a good time as far as a volunteer. Do you want to try a new opportunity? Do you want to look at a new topic? If you're interested in wanting something new, contact us. We're going to be placing lists of needs we have in volunteers. And if you just want to talk about the role and figure out, is this something I'm interested in or not, give us a call. We'll talk to you about it.
And once we have our volunteer role descriptions completely updated and finalized, we will be posting those in a central location, probably on this volunteer resources page, so that you can look at the roles and see what it is that you're doing, or maybe something that you want to do, or what the leaders in your clubs are doing. And if you're, you know, again, needing help on seeing, you know, how can you better utilize the volunteers within your club or project or committee, please let us know. That's what we're here for, to help you brainstorm.
MJ, Heather.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
So I did mention we will be having different volunteer trainings throughout this year. We don't have like set dates or topics yet. And they will more than likely be on Zoom at this point, with the number of, you know, COVID cases on the rise and everything in our county. So just be on the lookout for that. We will send out the information about the continuing education hours as well. It'll more than likely be in our next bulletin, with the link to the list of continuing education hour or videos and ideas that you can gain from. But again, you don't have to stick to the videos on that list to complete that training. If you find another opportunity, or, you know, depending on what your profession is, our profession, we have to go to conferences yearly. So say you go to a some sort of conference, like I know, I'll just again say there was American Horse Youth Council conference. If you went to that, or you attended something virtually with that, take the credit for it, fill out the survey, and you're done. You already did it. So again, it's just, we want to be able to provide professional development and volunteer development for you all as well, and for you to experience and learn some new things too. So
Does any
question?
Yeah, does anybody have any questions? You can place them in the chat if you don't want to speak, or
Nothing, man.
again, don't hesitate to contact us. Shoot us an email. I have several volunteers that will say, I've got I've got an idea, but can you help me work through it? It's what we're here for. Um, we want your job to be pleasant. Your role as a volunteer actually shouldn't be a job. It's something you choose to do. You love being with the kids. We all wake up in the morning. When we're a volunteer or involved in 4-H, I truly believe we wake up in the morning wanting the best for that group that we volunteer or work with, especially when it comes to youth. So, you know, we want these resources to be available to you. We want your role to not have challenges to it. So if there's anything you find that you need, again, just want to brainstorm, or you saw an idea somewhere, how can we have this happen? Reach out to us, please. Amy has, if we were previously set up as the committee designatee to run reports for enrollment, is that, oh wait, it's moving.
Yeah, I
For
see
enrollment,
it.
is that set up in the news system?
I think we have to reassign you. I will have to double check with Molly. She's becoming like our 2.0 guru. So I'll check with her. From my understanding, I don't know if that rolled over or not. So we may have to reassign club managers. I think our next training, we'll be learning more about that piece of it as well. I think our next training is next week, I believe, or this week. I can't remember. So we'll have more information on that as well. So be thinking of if you haven't been a club manager, I guess I should explain what that looks like. If you've never been able to log in, if you're a club leader, the main club leader, and you've never been able to see your club list, then you probably were not set up to be a club manager. If you would like to see your club list and be able to see who's enrolling with your club and who's still pending or active, please email us or email Molly and let her know. So that way, if we do need to assign you or reassign you, we can do that.
We appreciate your patience through COVID. We appreciate your resilience through COVID. There's nothing, I guess, that hasn't been said about COVID, but you have no idea how much we appreciate you continuing to work with kids, and we want to be there and support you in that effort. We just have to be safe. So again, feel free to call us. If you have something you want to do and you just can't figure it out, give us a call and see what we can do.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Thank you again for giving us an hour of your evening. It's been a pleasure. We look forward to working with you in the 2020-21 4-H season.
Yes, thank you very much. And I guess we can stop recording. And we'll have the link. We'll send the link out to you in the next bulletin as well.